I'm here today with David Wilkinson. David is the Managing Director at Dash Dynamics. Welcome, David. Looking forward to having a chat with you.
Yeah, looking forward to having a talk as well.
Good stuff. Give us a bit of a summary about Dash Dynamics then.
Dash Dynamics, we manufacture a product that everybody sees every day, but nobody knows what it's called and nobody knows where to buy it. And it's called a resin dome badge. And a resin dome badge is very simple. We print onto self-adhesive vinyl, and then we apply a two-part polyurethane resin to the surface, and that then spreads out and it creates a badge with a domed effect. You'll see them all over the place. We work in every industry under the sun. We exported all over the world, but the bulk of our business tends to be in the UK. And to a certain extent, we're talking about Ireland as well. Ireland is definitely a very much a growing market for ourselves.
Okay, so what type of customers typically are you supplying then?
Our customers vary considerably. Our main product is the supply to the trade only of digits for the specialized surface mounted number plates. You'll see them around. You must have seen them all over the place. Some have a rounded effect to the badge. That's a gel badge. Some people call it 3D. That's okay. I don't mind 3D there. But we also do the acrylic style, which are laser cut. And we have a sister company that does all our laser cutting for us. They have very, very powerful machines. They're £250,000 each machines, half a dozen of these things, and they do cutting not only for us, but they've done quite a lot for prestige people like Aston Martin, and do a lot for the American military, and some huge contracts as well. But we are one of their main customers, and being a sister company, it works out very, very well for us. But that's the main thing that we probably sell more than anything else. I would say that probably accounts for 75 to 80% of our business. The majority of what we do outside that, we're very strong in the automotive industry, in other areas, doing a lot with van conversion people, horse box people. We work in health and safety. We work in schools. We work in, well, pretty much anything you can see. We've just done some badges that have gone over onto some marine work for a £300,000 yacht, and they went out to Valletta in the Med. They came to us. We did all the design work for them, and they wanted them, and they needed them actually by the end of the week. So on Thursday we packaged these up and they were with them on the Friday. So complete. After, the biggest problem was getting the customer to agree. So
you've got a wide diverse range of customers there, and some big brands also. You mentioned Aston Martin, for example. How come they come to you? What is it that's different about your business?
I think it's just mainly down to the service. We know that we're probably one of the most expensive out there, but unlike certain companies who, after very, very high volumes, China in particular, you won't get anything out of China unless you've got really high volumes. We are happy to produce down to a single badge. If there's artwork involved, yes, there are artwork costs and they have to be dealt with. But we are happy to produce a single badge for our customers if that's what they want. But then on orders, typically on most of our orders that come in, we hold about 50,000 design files that we've done for various people over the years. If it's a pre-existing order and it comes in before 10 o'clock, it's leaving us usually by 3 o'clock the following day. And I think our record for badges in one day is 22,000 in one day. That was done by myself when I was by myself.
Well done. Yeah. So obviously in manufacturing, there's lots of challenges.
Yeah.
And COVID obviously is one, for example. What challenges have you had, and how was COVID for you?
COVID was kind of crazy for us because I furloughed the guys on the 1st of April, and they'd left me. The only thing that we stock are number plate components, and they left me with high stocks, probably nearly 250,000 digits. And all of a sudden, we had several little boosts in the trade. First of all, people buying plates, neighbours seeing those plates, then those cars being out on the road later on and more people seeing them and wanting to buy those plates. But of course, there was a lot of uncertainty about people's jobs as well. So we got a lot of people who were inquiring as to how to become a number plate dealer. Now, we'll only trade with people on number plates if they're registered with the DVLA, but we take them through the process. It's very simple. It's not expensive. So as soon as they were there, we all of a sudden had new customers there as well. And by having all this extra business, I ended up being here. I ended up living at work. I was sleeping between two printers. I was grabbing a bit of food whenever I could. I was doing 18-hour days, and the lads came back and I nearly wiped out their stock, which took us about 4 months to get back up to level again. So it was interesting times, and we introduced a few different things. Like we did a flexi time during the period to try to make certain that people weren't as in contact with each other. We worked in separate areas within the building anyway, because we're only a small company. There's only 4 or 5 of us, so we're generally working in our own little area anyway, and so that wasn't too much of a problem. But by doing the flexi time, which we still retain to this day, we still staff can come and go as they please. It meant that we could split up the time. Some people prefer to work early, some people prefer to work late, some people prefer to work a normal day, and that works really well for us and continues to.
So looking ahead, David, what the future? What are the challenges ahead for you?
Biggest challenge for us is really getting our products out there. As I said very early in the beginning, you know, a resin dome badge is something that everybody sees on a regular basis. If you go into the toilets and you're drying your hands under a hand dryer, chances are that there's a resin dome badge on the very dryer that you're using. Well, that's what we make, you know, name badges, things like that. We do a lot of that type of work, and it's really getting our name out. And I would say, you know, mainly in the UK, I'd like to have more support from Lancashire if I could, because I always buy locally, try to support the local businesses. And it would be nice to have some more Lancashire business, and Yorkshire. I can live with them as well. I did live over there for quite a few years, so I am a trainee Yorkshireman. Yeah, it's really getting our name out so that people understand it. You know, social media is helping, but it's very difficult because our name, Dash Dynamics, really does not relate to what we actually make. It comes from where we came from originally. The original company is 22 years old. I bought it 7 years ago, but when it first started, it was making up dash kits so you could convert your car to have a walnut dash. So that's where the Dash Dynamics came from. So we don't have a generic name, which lines up with what we actually do. It's really, but it's a case of us getting ourselves known out there more and being used more by people. Because if you've got a need for it, if you've got something that you want to have a high class badge putting on, we're the answer to it. All right, and nobody knows who we are or what we do. That's
right.
it.
Okay.
Simple message.
So lots of opportunity when you get that right, then.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I say social media does make a huge difference to that. You know, we're starting. We were late realizing that, and with my partner, life partner, in fact, we're just getting married fairly soon. She now comes in and does the social media part, and that's picking us up new people all the time. It's been worth more than any advertising agency that we've ever been with. I've thrown a lot of money at advertising and got very little results from it. So it's really a more organic way of getting our name out that we require. Yeah. So
yeah, cool. So in the 7 years you've had the business, David, if you could look back and change anything, what might that be?
Certainly my advertising spend. Well, that's the first thing which would have gone. I've spent money very, very silly there, I think, in certain ways. But perhaps I've invested quite heavily in new equipment, and I've done a lot of research on it. And the equipment that we've got is very good. But I think probably what I've spent on the advertising would have been nice to have been able to buy some more equipment, which it would have very easily done, and made us far better. I mean, I came into this business knowing absolutely nothing about it. I didn't even know how to turn the computer on, and our business is computer based. I didn't know how to make a resin dough badge. I had to learn this all from scratch from the previous owner. You know, he was a very successful one-man band doing very nicely for himself, but you know, we're still a micro business. Say we're small, but it's been a very, very steep learning curve, but very enjoyable. You know, I've changed directions multiple times in my life, and this is just another change. My next change would probably be retirement, but my partner says I'll never do that. I've got 66 and I haven't retired yet, so I think I've still got a few years left in me.
You're looking well on it, David. You're looking very well on it.
Well, you know, I think young. I act look young, as certain women would say. Don't mean sexist by this at all, but some men never grow up. Some men have got the Peter Pan complex, and I think I'm one of them.
Good for you. Hang on to it.
I will do.
David, it's been fascinating talking to you. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best for the future. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. I really enjoyed it. Okay.